Hello, podcast crew. Welcome to what is an impromptu episode for us, but probably not for you guys. As you can probably tell, I am very, very unwell. And I guess in the recent times, we've had some life changes that are in the works. So Kat and I decided it would be pretty important to sit down and film this podcast or record this podcast today, just so we have it in case the shit really hits the fan. Because that's kind of where things are going at the moment. So I guess as a little bit of information, it looks like I'm expecting Bub to come earlier than we thought. So Bub was due in September, 14th of September. That's not the aim now. And to be perfectly honest, I can't even tell you what the aim is. 37 weeks, I've been told, but nothing is promised. So everything's a bit up in the air at the moment. And I'm spending a lot of time at the hospital, not only being treated for what ails me, but to monitor Bub as well. So it's kind of just a little bit easier to put this out there and just to let you guys know that if we go MIA, this is why.
Yeah. And look, do you know what echoes in my head, Hailey, is that you said you didn't want a baby who has a birthday in September?
I know.
And now you got your wish.
Why did I say that? Why did I say that? Why did I say that? I know, right?
Yeah.
Look, you know what's upsetting? I mean, the whole situation is upsetting, but I have very much come to terms with what's going on, and I'm confident in the medical team. So I'm not super worried in that respect. But there's a lot of things where it has disrupted our lives, and we're not ready. Now, everybody says, oh, you're never ready for a baby. That's not what I fucking mean. What I mean is, like, we haven't even built the pram. I don't have a hospital bag packed yet. And, you know, it's things like that. Now, you might think, oh, it's not hard to pack a hospital bag, just chuck it together. But when you're in the hospital for like 14 hours a day and you get home and then you're like, I'm completely wiped out, I need to go to sleep. And you're only sleeping in like 1 or 2 hour intervals overnight. It really throws a spanner in the work. You can't really prepare for shit like this. It's just a mess.
Yeah, but that's also why, ultimately what we decided to do was, instead of stressing Hailey out any further with any filming plans or editing plans or anything, we're going to go on hiatus for TBA. It's not going to be the hiatus that we had last time, that it's like we've gone for 2 years. No. It's just simply she needs to deal with this. She needs to have a safe delivery, and she needs to have a nice sort of as stress-free as possible entry into motherhood. So what we're going to do is we've got a mid-month video pre-prepared, go us. But I think beauty news and any extra content, we might come back probably, I'm going to guess maybe with holiday releases. That's my
probably
vibe.
That sounds like it would be about right with timing wise.
Yeah, so
and
we'll see how we go.
You know, I think our intention always was to have some pre-filmed content, but it just didn't work out that way. Life was like, oh no, you don't want a September baby.
Yeah. Well, you know.
So, yeah.
See, where I'm the opposite though with my kids. If I said I didn't want a September baby, they would have come in bloody October. So my kids were like 42 weeks and I had to get them evicted. Whereas your bub's keen to meet you.
You know what? Like, I actually think often about all of the stories that I hear of women who are, you know, nearing 42 weeks or some even go beyond that, and how uncomfortable they are. And I mean, I'm uncomfortable now, you know, so I can only imagine how hard it is for them with a baby who is growing at like full speed. So I really feel for those women as well. I don't think that, you know, either side of the coin is an easier ride by any means. I think we're all suffering at the end of the day.
Yeah. I also think it's a funny one where I remember being pregnant and I had people say things like, what's your plan? Like, what's your hospital plan? And
I'm like, yes. not die.
Yeah, not die and not have the baby die. The plan is so, it's such a funny concept that people get the opportunity to be like, I'm choosing the music and I'm wanting a water birth and I want it at home or I want it this. Whereas I think with both of our situations for very different reasons, it was sort of like you do what you medically have to do and then
correct.
like
That's right.
then you have your baby. So I think it's one of those weird things where like I'm sending all the good vibes in the universe for you, and I'm hoping that you have a chill, sleepy baby at the start so you can recover quite well.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no pressure.
Isn't it funny, like people talk about pregnancy, how it's, look, and I hope in the future we can actually do more podcasts on this where we talk about it much more in depth, but people talk about how pregnancy and giving birth is so natural and, just let it happen and blah, blah, blah. But it's not always the case for everyone.
No.
Childbirth is actually inherently dangerous. And, not only to the person giving birth, but also to the baby in some situations. It's not always straightforward.
That's why the life expectancy has increased dramatically over the last, say, 50 years, because the medical interventions for mothers that would giving birth and also babies has increased that life expectancy. My mum has told me many times that when my grandmother was pregnant, what they'd have to do, and mind you, this is in Serbia, so a different vibe, but probably this is fairly universal, you would pick out not only like obviously baby clothes, but also the outfit that you might be buried in.
Oh my God.
Like, that's how dangerous childbirth was. And I can tell you, natural and whatnot, bullshit. My first one, if I wasn't in a hospital where we had doctors and nurses and everything swooping in to help, not only would my baby have been stuck and caught around the neck and died, but I couldn't push the baby out properly and I would have bled to death. So we both would have died and I wouldn't have had my second. So natural... You can say that, but it is to have a positive outcome all the time, there's often a lot of medical intervention.
It's not, I know. And that's the thing, you hear a lot of women saying that they want, a natural, unmedicated birth. And I'm actually very pro, do what the woman wants in birth, because I think, if people are supporting your choices, you are more likely to have a better outcome anyway. Even if things don't quite go to plan, you may find that you have more peace with the process of doing it. So I'm all for supporting women's choices, but I can tell you right now, I am not all about that natural birth and pain-free. I am get this baby out safely. Yeah. And let's neither of us die.
Yeah.
And let's go on and have a really beautiful life together. So that's my plan. My plan is don't die, recover, live happily ever after.
Yeah. And I think that's a good plan, and I think it's going to go well. So
yeah, I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah, what we might do is we might wrap it up and just let people know that keep an eye on this podcast channel, because what we'll do is when we come back, we're probably going to be chatting to Hailey about the throes of having a baby. We might reflect on labour, what did happen. I feel like after the fact, you're always more comfortable sharing more information because you know the outcome. So all that kind of chat we will talk about down the track. Beauty News will be on hiatus for a month or two, but that's the reason essentially.
Yes, and I will happily share my story. It's just because I don't know what's going on at the moment. It's a bit, it's all just guessing and speculation, so there's no point. But that's it. Wish me luck. We'll be back soon.
Best of luck.
And, I'll be back with a baby. Yay!
All right.
All right, guys. Bye.